Everyone's afraid of something. Failure, success, heights, spiders, whatever. And a little fear can be healthy, but too much can stop you from living the life you want to live. That's what you should really be afraid of. The only thing you should be afraid of. Letting fear control you. Letting it prevent you from chasing your dreams. In this video, we're going to dive into what's really holding you back and what you can do to take fear out of the equation so you can finally start living the life you want to live. Hi, my name's Ellis Michaels. I'm a writer, a musician, and a comedian who spent 15 years working in the mental health field, helping hundreds of young adults find direction, crush their goals, and go on to lead happy, fulfilling lives. Now, I'm here to help you do the same. No sugarcoating, no PC nonsense, just the truth. What you do with it is up to you. Everybody has fears. Everybody. Everybody is afraid of something. It's built into us. It's human nature. It's animal nature. We're designed to have fears. It helps keep us alive. You hear in the middle of the night, you hear rustling in the bushes. You should be afraid of that because it could be a fucking tiger about to jump out and eat you. Some fear is good, but a lot of the fears that we have evolved in, like that jungle environment, that hunter-gatherer societies and stuff like that. And now that we're living in this world, all that fear is like, it just goes crazy in our minds, and it manifests itself in all kinds of weird ways. And we find ourselves being afraid of all kinds of shit that our ancestors never would have had to deal with. But fear, first, you have to understand that a little bit of fear is a good thing, okay? A little bit of anxiety is a good thing. We need these things to survive. If we didn't have them, we would all fucking die today, really. If none of us had any fear ever, we'd all be dead today. So fear is natural. It's normal. You can't get rid of it. So don't even try to get rid of all your fear. Even the most fearless, seemingly fearless motherfucker is afraid of something. I guarantee it. He might not admit it. She might not admit it. But I guarantee they have fears. Everybody has fears. You have fears. I have fears. But you need to learn how to manage those fears, and you need to, I hate to use the word conquer because sometimes it's impossible to conquer a fear, but you can manage it. You can manage your fears. You can control them to an extent. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what your fears are, like the fears that are holding you back. And I'm not talking, when I'm talking about fear, in this video, I'm generally talking about fear that's holding you back from accomplishing something you want to do. Whether it be to chase that dream career, that dream girl, get fit, get whatever, stuff like that. What are you afraid of? And the big ones, the two big ones are fear of success and fear of failure. Those are the ones that they hold back most people, especially failure. Most people are afraid of failure, but a lot of people are afraid of success too. Success can be just as scary. It can be even scarier, really. For an introvert like me, success is way scarier than the thought of failure when it comes to a lot of things. But fear and success, fear of success and fear of failure are really two sides of the same coin. They're the fear of being judged. That's what it ultimately comes down to. Most of our fears have to do with the fear of being judged by others. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Most people don't give a fuck about you. Most people don't think about you. They don't care about you. Why? Because, like you and me, they're selfish and they only think about themselves 99% of the time. They only care about themselves 99% of the time. They're thinking about their own fears and anxieties, not yours. So you need to understand that it's ridiculous to be afraid of what people are going to think of you. It's ridiculous to be afraid of being judged because no matter what you do, you're going to get judged. No matter what you do. You could go out and dedicate your entire life to doing nothing but feeding the homeless. And guess what? Some people are still going to talk shit. Some people are still going to talk shit and make fun of you and say all kinds of nasty stuff because that's just the way it goes. So you need to get over your fear of what other people are going to think because no matter what you do, somebody is going to judge you. That's just the way it goes. And no matter what it is. So if you might think your dream is silly and other people are going to make fun of you, who gives a fuck what they think? Are they chasing their dreams? Are they living their dream life? Then are they living the dream that you want to live? Then what do you care? But the truth is, again, they're not, the vast majority of the time, they're not thinking about you. It's so irrational to be afraid of being judged by other people because other people in their heads are way too busy being afraid of you judging them to be judging you. That's just how our brains work. We're all really selfish. We're all really, really, really selfish beings. And, you know, our thoughts revolve around us 99% of the time. So don't let fear of what people think affect what you want to do. The only thing, the only thing you should be afraid of is letting fear prevent you from living the life you want to live. You know, it's that, once again, I can't remember the name. I should remember his name, but it was, the only thing we have left to fear is fear itself. Truman? The only thing we have left to fear is fear itself. That quote is perfect because it sums it up, you know? Fear is the only thing you really need to be afraid of. You don't need to be afraid of what other people think. You don't need to be afraid of being judged. You don't need to be afraid of success or failure. You need to be afraid of being afraid. You need to be afraid of being too afraid to act. You need to be afraid of being too afraid to start. You need to be afraid to take that first step, that second step. You need to be afraid to keep going even when things get tough. You need to be afraid of quitting. You need to be afraid of these things. But that all comes from fear. It's all fear. And again, fear. A little fear is a good thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't be afraid of anything. You know, if a stampede of rhinos are charging at you, you should have some fear going on in that noggin of yours. But too much fear is just going to cripple you, just going to paralyze you. In today's world, fear of putting yourself out there, fear of being judged. But somebody's always going to judge. Somebody's going to talk shit. Somebody's not going to like what you're doing. And you know what I say? I say, fuck that person. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you, or you're doing it for the people that will like what you're doing. Like take these videos, podcasts, for example. A lot of people aren't going to like these. A lot of people are going to say I suck. But guess what? I don't give a fuck what those people think. I'm not making these videos for them. I'm making them for people who might actually get some value out of them. That's who I'm making it for. So fuck all those other assholes. Don't be afraid of them and what they think. Focus on you and the people that you're trying to reach, or whatever. It depends on the goal, but focus on you and yours. Don't worry about them. I don't give a fuck what anyone except the people I'm trying to reach in these videos, the people who will benefit from them and who want to hear what I have to say. Those are the only people I care about. I'm not afraid of what anyone else thinks of me. And that's just how it has to be. You can't let fear control your life. Well, you can. A lot of people do, absolutely. But you shouldn't let fear control your life. If you want to lead a good one and the life you want to live, you need to learn to control fear. You need to learn to manage your fear. It's not going to go away. You're not going to be able to get rid of it, but you can manage it, and you can not let it slow you down one bit. In fact, you can even harness it to some extent. But you really shouldn't be afraid of much other than being too afraid to get shit done. You shouldn't be afraid of much other than to be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Everybody else, again, it comes back to be yourself, because even if you tried to be somebody else, people are going to talk shit about that person. No matter who you are, no matter who you try to be, somebody is not going to like it. Somebody is going to take an issue with it. So some people are going to not like you no matter what. So it doesn't make sense to try to be something that you're not, knowing that people still aren't going to like it. If anything, they'll like it less, because so many people are fake as fuck these days, which is why, just having a little bit of authenticity goes a long way. But, you guys, you just gotta, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Fear is often caused by misunderstanding, or just complete lack of understanding, or ignorance or hatred or something of that sort. So the best way to conquer fear is to learn about it, is to try to understand your fear. Like, say you're afraid of spiders. Okay, the best thing to do is not to avoid spiders at all costs. It's to learn about spiders. Learn more about them. See that they're not like the vast majority of them aren't harmful at all. In fact, they're quite good. They're good for gardens. They're good for a lot of. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of fears, you can take the oomph out of a lot of fears just by understanding them, by seeking to understand them and figure out what's behind them. That's the way to get on top of a lot of fears. But and this is getting long, so I'll wrap it up, and I'll just say again, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid of what other people think. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of success. Don't be afraid of what I think. The only thing you should be afraid of is fear itself. Don't worry about anything except what you want to do, how you want to live your life, and where you want to go. Till next time, I'm Ellis Michaels. Be well.